Alrighty guys, sorry I haven't gotten a video out in a couple of days with my KSP series. I've been having a whole lot of problems. Everything was working fine. I had a whole ton of mods installed. Everything was working fine with 24 and then 24.1. Pretty much a lot of the older mods were still working, but it seems like after the 24.2 update, the mods just are not compatible anymore. I mean, a lot of them that used to work together now they don't work at all, and I mean, it just I've been having trouble for days. I've literally had to reinstall about 5 times to just to try to get it to even work, even with the most basic of mods. Like now, I've had to start a new game, and I have the barest minimum of mods. I have the cloud mods. I have a few of the science tech tree mods and stuff like that, and basically hardly any other mods work together anymore. You know, texture replacer, I keep getting the same error. I don't get any more when it loads up. I don't get any more incompatibility errors, but I'm getting an error now like I was getting before. When you get a memory too much memory used, it'll crash error. That's the only error I'm getting now. But I don't understand. I'm running less than half of the mods I had before in 24 and 24.1, but for some reason when you load it up in 24.2, you start getting crashes. I mean, it literally will crash and say that I'm using 1955 megabytes of my RAM or whatever on my video card, and it will just crash continually every time, even if you just loading up the game. If you try to load up a save from the previous when you had other mods installed or whatever, and you're trying to see if it still works or whatever, it'll just crash. It'll So I don't know what the deal is, what's going on. You know, I mean, I don't want to just have to run stock, but the way it's looking now, I mean, I'm pretty much going to be back to the basic game, because you might get one mod installed and it'll work, and then you install 2 or 3 other mods and they'll work, but then you'll get to install another mod that usually works really well with the other mods that you have installed. Like, let's say you have Tech Life Support installed and you install other mods that work with that. Well, when you do that, for some reason it'll just, I don't know if it crashes because of that, or is some kind of memory leak with texture replacer, um, because the crashes that I'm getting are from using too much memory in the 64-bit version. So I don't see how that's affecting the game. But uh, I want to go out here quick, and I want to show y'all the mods that I have installed. See, I just had this error report here, and it's as you can see, look at what the error report says. On my video card, it's saying this, and it's some kind of fault here. I've looked through this to try to find out, you know, maybe it'll say the name of the mod or whatever, what problem it started to have or something like that, but it just seems like it's really random. You know, I mean, it just seems like it's really random. You know, see like this here. Sometimes you'll get stuff like this pop up where it say module manager toolbar, all these things pop up, and then your game is running fine, right? And then all of a sudden, bam, it'll get a memory leak from one of the mods, or one of the mods isn't doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and then you're back to square one. See, look, this is the mods that I'm running now. Toolbar, the textures for procedural fairings, the cloud mod, the telescope mod, chatterer, refund, you know, your return stages, and the D-Magic orbital, science mod, fire spitter, nuclear engines, KW rocketry, MechJeb, procedural fairing, space plane pus, and this is the truss mod. Has the different types of truss pieces, and station science, texture replacer, US core, and TAC life support, and that's it. And this crash just happened with even just these few mods installed, so it has to be one of these mods conflicting with the others. Okay, see, so and it seems like it will happen if you try to, let's say you change a mod, you take a mod out of the game, and you try to reload the game back up and start it up. If you try to load up that save game, uh, that maybe those mods were installed in, it'll just crash like that too. I don't know. It just seems really random right now. So that's why I haven't been releasing any videos, because I've been trying to install and play the game, and sometimes it'll work perfectly and I'll get on there and I've been, building some stuff. But just like this game here, this is a brand new game, and if you go back to um, the menu, I have another game, a sandbox game, which I was using just for, to test the parts to see if the game would actually work. Now I just loaded this game up, and it has the same mods and everything installed that I just showed y'all that this game is running on. And when I tried to load it up, it just basically crashed on me. It said, "Oh, memory is full," and it crashes. But this time it loads up, and I don't know. It just seems really random, or if it's a conflict in the game, or is it just 64-bit is just unstable sometimes. It's just really hard to tell. And it's really hard to start, on your series, and start something major that you want to get done when you don't know if the game is going to actually even be able to load up tomorrow. That's why I've been holding off on trying to get videos out on it, because I don't want to start telling y'all a story and telling y'all what I'm doing in missions, and then all of a sudden the very next day I have to start from scratch, because everything is just screwed up because one mod is conflicting, or a texture is bad, and Unity just kicks back and has memory leaks. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to get a video out today, because I don't want y'all to think I've given up on my KSP series. This is why I started my channel, is because of this game. So I'm going to get a video out today. I'm going to get this video out today explaining. I'm probably going to just do a couple of run-through tests with basically this sandbox mode for now, to see how it's how it's playing. As you can see now, it's working great. But when I just tried to load it up, it just randomly crashed with a memory leak. So I'm gonna try to figure it out, because I don't want you guys to have to suffer through crashes and game losses and things of that nature. So I guess let's go back to the Space Center, and I'll go back to the VAB and see what I've been working on. Okay, do I have any ships that I've been building? Yeah, I just have the station core. I was supposed to be working on building not another station core, but the truss section to add to the station core, so that I can send the truss section up that I'm going to use to connect a lot of other pieces together and build this station in sandbox mode. But yeah, this is really crazy. I had another series. If y'all were watching a few other episodes I put out on this series, it was going really well, and then all of a sudden I updated B9, because it said, "Oh, we're finally updated to 24.2. There's a fix out." So I updated B9, and it basically just destroyed that entire game. I mean, literally the entire game folder was just destroyed. I couldn't even load up the game. It was just crashing all the time after that, and I basically had to uninstall and reinstall the entire game and start over from scratch with no mods, and start at one or two mods and just installing them and loading up the game. It took me, that was I believe on Friday, it took me about 11 yeah, it took me about 11 hours. It's just installing a mod, and then everybody knows how long it takes a KSP to load up when you have a lot of mods and parts installed. So you basically have to start up and put a few mods in there, and then you change it up, and then you put a few more mods in, and you have to load it up. You have to try it out a little bit to see if it's working. You start off with your more basic mods like MechJeb and Kerbal Alarm Clock and Tac Life Support, mods like this that are seem to have been stable for quite a few builds of the game, and you try to go from there. But I mean, it's really crazy. I mean, because you get so used to, especially like me, you get so used to playing with mods in the game, and then all of a sudden they're all working great in 24 and 24.1, and then all of a sudden in 24.2, you can't get two mods that have been working together for months now to even load up together without crashing the game. So I don't know if it's just something that they changed in the code of KSP that's reacting badly with some of the mods together, or what it is, but it's definitely not fun trying to get it up and running. I can tell you that right now. You know what? I'm going to go back, and I'm not gonna sit here and build this trust section. Okay, and let's go to this ship here, and I'm going to dock this ship with the first part of my station. And let's go ahead and click this as target, and let's go to yeah, this is just a random ship I threw together to test the Space Plane Plus mod, because I really like the way this mod fits in with the game, and the pieces they match up to the mod. And this is from Commit Nucleonics, you know, a nuclear engine. So I wanted to install this mod because it looks really nice. It works really well with the regular mods that, you know, regular parts of the game. So I basically installed this one, and it seems to be working fine. I don't know why it crashed when I just loaded up. It just seems like it's just random sometimes with the 64-bit, which I mean, they'll probably get it more stable over time, or Unity needs to get something done to stabilize their engine. But and as you can see, it just randomly crashed, or it just jumped back to my desktop for no random reason at all, you know. And this only happens with KSP. I don't know what this is, but the game didn't actually crash, but it just kicked me back to my desktop for some reason. And you know, recording a video and trying to get your video out and stuff like this happening is just not cool. So I'm gonna try to get it together for you guys and see if I can get it to work. But if not, man, I might be back to just running only the basics, you know, with the game, you know, because I mean it's not really looking good at this point for the mods and KSP right now, because I mean it just seems random, you know. It's not like you can say, oh, it's one mod that's out of date, I can just take it out. It's not. It seems like it's really just random, you know. You basically can't tell what's going on. Let's go ahead and I'm going to open up the debug window and see if we can see anything in here. Texture replacer, and see, I believe this is what's causing the problem, because it says crew roster assembly C#. Now this with texture replacer, it seems to be what the problem probably is, because this is the what I'm getting. See, it's filling up my RAM. It's steady shooting this error into my RAM. So I'm guessing it's texture replacer. I thought that it was probably texture replacer all this time, but you know, you want to use the mod to have it look good, but this is what you keep getting, this same error. So I believe it's texture replacer. It has to be. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to do a basic install of a texture replacer, because I believe it's something that I missed putting in. It's trying to show the crew, I believe, down in the corner with the uniforms on, or whatever, and I think I didn't upload the uniforms for all of the Kerbals on the IVA, so maybe that's the error, but this is the error that I keep getting. I think this is what's filling up my RAM, is this error, so maybe that's what it is, you know. I mean, because this is the one error that I seem to get all the time, so it's got to be texture replacer. I didn't want it to be, but hey, I like the Kerbals and their new little uniforms and stuff, but if it's gonna keep doing this and crashing my game, it's really not worth it at all, because this is the only error that I've been getting pretty much all the time, is texture replacer. So let's go back, and I'm going to shut this down. And it must. What is going on here? Let's go ahead and RCS it up. Do I even have RCS? Really? Yeah. What's going on? Alright. Maybe because I was looking at a debug menu, it messed up NextGen. So, yeah, I believe it's going to be end up being texture replacer with the issues with that. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably uninstall the extra stuff with texture replacer and just use it for my background and stuff like that, and I'll erase all the extra textures that I installed, because I didn't have this problem until I installed those extra green uniforms, you know, for my Kerbals. I didn't have this problem when I was playing 24.1 and when I first started playing 24.2. It wasn't until after I added those textures that I started getting memory leaks and things of that nature. So I'm going to go ahead and just uninstall them from texture replacer and put them back to default. That way it'll be just default textures from the game, and then I'll have my skybox, because that's really why I wanted texture replacer, and for the, you know, the better textures on the planets and stuff, those types of deals. But other than that, I mean, let's go ahead and get this docked here. Yeah, I've really been trying to get a video out. It's probably good I wanted to record this screw up video here today. So I'm hoping that that's the issue that I'm getting, is just the bad textures overloading my memory from texture replacer. So if I can get rid of that, I should be back in business, because my game was super stable before I start having this texture problem, you know. So even if I have to just go ahead and change the stock skybox to the reared end skybox on my own inside the squad folder, which I normally don't like to do, but you know, if I don't have a choice and I want to run this skybox, but I can't use texture replacer, then I have no choice. So I'll try to see what's going on and